I'm just about to start my workout for today, so I hope you will join me for that. And then please stick around because it is Mobility Monday. So that means that immediately following the workout, we're going to be doing our weekly Monday Mobility Challenge. So I hope you'll join me for that as well. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So you can see I have a set of dumbbells here for reference and for reference only. These are 10-pound dumbbells. That's a good weight for me. You may need to use something lighter or heavier than that. That depends on your strength and on your level of fitness. It also depends on what you have available to you and how hard you are looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. If you do not have dumbbells, look for household items that will work. Maybe a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles, for example. You could fill them with water, that's probably easiest, but you might be able to make them a little bit heavier if you fill them with something like uncooked rice or dried beans or lentils, kitty litter, powdered laundry detergent, something like that. The only other thing I'm using is my jump rope. So I have Rude Becca with me today. Rude Becca is my adorable black jump rope with the cute little white skulls on the handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RudeBecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. If you don't have a jump rope, that's fine. You can just substitute with any other type of moderate paced cardio exercise you want while I'm jumping rope. And then all you're going to need other than dumbbells and a jump rope, if you have one, is something soft beneath you like an exercise mat or a yoga mat. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything, but you will be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. So if you don't have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, a towel may suffice. But as far as equipment, that's all we're using today. I have my mat, I have my jump rope, and I have my dumbbells. So let's just very quickly go through all of the exercises that we're doing today. We're doing a total of 6 weighted exercises and then jump rope. So for jump rope, I'm just doing sets of 100 with my jump rope. A set of 100 means 100 revolutions of the rope. So any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're counting revolutions of the rope. 100 revolutions equals 1 set, and we're going to be doing 10 sets of 100. 10 sets of 100 with my jump rope on a good day takes me plus or minus about 10 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. So if you don't have a jump rope, you could always substitute with 10 minutes of some other type of cardio exercise. So for example, if you have access to an exercise bike or a treadmill or an elliptical or something like that, you could hop on one of those for about 10 minutes. Or you could go for a jog. For some people, 10 minutes might be a mile, or you might be able to do, 2 miles in 10 minutes if you're super fast. So that's another possibility. So maybe if you have access to the field at your local high school, you could jog around the track a few times while I'm jumping rope, or you could do up and down the bleachers, or if you have steps in your home or your apartment complex. If you want to take this workout to the beach or the park or a hiking trail that has steps, up and down the steps is another great option. So basically just plus or minus about 10 minutes of any kind of moderate paced cardio exercise you want to do is fine. If none of that's going to work for you, you really can just stay put and either jog in place or just pantomime jumping rope. That works. I mean, if you want to just hold on to a couple of imaginary handles and jump over an imaginary rope, that is a completely legitimate option. If you feel like it's going to be helpful to actually hold on to something, you can look into getting one of those jumpless or ropeless jump ropes. But I think if you're already going to be jumping over an imaginary rope, you can just hold on to imaginary handles. So just pantomime jumping rope, and that can be your equipment-free substitution for the jump rope. Okay, so let's just go through our 6 weighted exercises. We're going to be doing couplets or supersets, whatever you want to call it. So starting with each couplet or each superset is going to consist of 1 compound movement and then another exercise that's not a compound movement. All right, so our first couplet is going to be a deadlift plus an upright row, and then standing chest fly. So for your deadlift, you're going to want to start by making sure your shoulders are back and down. So tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Make sure your chest is lifted nice and high. Tighten up your abs, and then you're hinging at the hips. So really pushing your booty back. Remember to keep your chest lifted. You want your spine nice and elongated, so that at the same time you're trying to kind of touch the wall behind you with your booty. You want to think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. Make sure you're not locking out your knees. This is not an exercise that's done with perfectly straight legs. You want a soft bend to your knees. And then you're going to hinge at the hips, letting your weights fall down in front of you. Then you're going to hinge at the hips to stand. So really press your heels into the ground, hinge at the hips to stand. And then you're going to just pick your weights up in front of you. Bend your elbows and lift your weights up towards your shoulders. So the entire time I'm holding my weights with the back of my hands facing you, and my palms are facing the top of my thighs. So putting it all together, it looks like this. Weights are in front of me, shoulders back and down, chest is high, abs are tight. Soft knees, push the booty back, keeping the weight in your heels and keeping a flat back, hinging at the hips for that deadlift, letting the weights fall down in front of you. And now reversing the movement, pressing your heels into the ground, hinging at the hips to stand, and then bend the elbows, lift the weights straight up in front of you towards your shoulders, and control the movement as you lower those weights back down. That's one rep. So deadlift, upright row. That's our first exercise of our first couplet. And the second exercise is these kind of cross body arm raises. So going to, for this exercise, rotate my hands so that my wrists are facing forward. So now my palms are facing you. And then I'm just going to lift one arm at a time across my body so that I'm bringing my pinky towards the opposite shoulder. Alternating sides with each rep, super simple. So that's our first little couplet. Our second couplet, okay, so for our first exercise is going to be a compound movement. For our compound movement, we are doing a squat variation. So I'm going to just hold my weights in front of me like this. I'm going to squat. And then as I stand, I'm going to do a hammer curl, meaning that I am curling the weights up towards my shoulders, and then I'm going to press one weight up overhead. And as I do that, I'm going to pick up the heel that's on the same side as the weight that's being pressed up overhead. I'm going to twist my body thoracically, rotating those toes so that they're pointing towards this wall. And then as I lower the weight, I'm going to rotate my toes to face forward again, put my heels down and face front, okay? And then I'm just going to bring the weights back down and return to my starting position. So first of all, for your proper form for your squats, again, make sure your shoulders are back and down, make sure your chest is lifted high, flat back, weight in the heels, okay? So again, pushing the booty back, and at the same time, think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest, and keep your back flat, keep the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat, and then press your heels into the ground to stand. The next part of the movement is our hammer curl. So with a regular bicep curl, typically you have your palm facing forward and you're just bending your elbow and curling the weight up towards your shoulder. So for a hammer curl, it's the same movement, but instead of having your palm facing forward, your palm is going to be facing towards the center of your body, so that when you bend your elbow and curl the weight up to your shoulder, it's like the grip you have on the dumbbell, it's like you're swinging a hammer, okay? And then for the overhead press, it's a very simple movement. You're just pressing the weight up overhead. You don't have to press it up all the way and lock out your arm. Keep a soft bend to your elbow, but that's it, okay? So put it all together, starting with my weights in front of me. I'm just holding the weights together like this. Squat, hammer curl, overhead press with an oblique twist, return to the starting position. Alternating sides with each rep. So now squat, hammer curl, press the weight up overhead and twist towards the opposite direction and return to the starting position. Okay, so that is our compound movement. And then for the second half of this little couplet, we're just doing plank rows. So for this exercise, I'm going to be putting my weight on my dumbbells while I am in a plank position. So if your dumbbells are not flat on the bottom like mine are, I'm going to recommend that you modify this exercise. So I'll show you that modification in just a moment. But here's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be holding on to my dumbbells while I come up into a plank position, and then I'm just going to row my dumbbells one at a time. So that means I'm going to pick up one dumbbell, bend the elbow, and bring the dumbbell up towards my shoulder on the same side, and then reverse the movement. Again, controlling the movement as you lower that weight. So don't just let the weight drop down. Make sure you're using your triceps, using your arm, using your core to really control that movement, make it mindful, and place the weight down. Make sure every aspect of the movement is under control. And mind your form in your plank position. So if you imagine standing with your back up against the wall and just lightly pressing the back of your head into the wall, that's where you want your spine. Make sure your head is, or that's where you want your head, sorry, I should say. So make sure that your head is perfectly in line with your spine. Make sure you're keeping your back flat. Don't allow your hips or your belly to droop down towards the floor or the ground. All right, so tighten up your ab muscles. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. And make sure that you're not kind of sinking into your shoulders like this. Your shoulders should be away from your ears. So really press into those dumbbells, push yourself up as high as you can in your plank pose. And then from there, you want to do your best as you are rowing your dumbbells to not allow your entire body to kind of rotate to the side. You don't want to be kind of rocking back and forth. You want to do your best to keep your body stationary so that the only thing that's moving is this arm and this dumbbell. As much as possible. You're going to shift a little bit because you have to shift your weight. Your weight is evenly distributed here, and then as you pick up one dumbbell, you have to redistribute your weight. So you're going to move a little bit. The point is to be aware of that and try to minimize it, okay? Don't stress out about it too much if you're rocking back and forth a little bit, or if you find that you're kind of twisting a little bit, just try to minimize it. Try to keep your body still and centered while you do those plank rows. And if you are using dumbbells that are rounded on the end here, or if you are using household items for weight, like water bottles or shampoo bottles or something like that, then I would prefer that you have your hands flat on the floor or the ground while you are in your plank pose. And then from here, just pick up one hand, row your weight, set it down, let go, and then repeat on the other side. So that you always have at least one hand flat on the floor or the ground so that you're stable and you're not going to fall and get hurt. I know that a lot of people will use rounded dumbbells in this way. They will hold on to rounded dumbbells while they're in a plank position or doing push-ups or plank rows. It's not that you can't do it, so it's your workout. You decide what level of risk you feel comfortable taking, but for the record, unless your dumbbells are flat on the bottom, I would prefer that you do the modification I just showed you so that you always have at least one hand flat on the floor or the ground. But that's it, that's our second little couplet. So that's our first 4 exercises. For the final couplet, this is where you're going to need something soft beneath you. We're doing abs and glutes, and we're going to be down on the mat for these final 2 exercises. So for the first exercise, this is our compound movement. I'm going to be doing a weighted sit-up plus a Russian twist. So I'm going to be holding both of my dumbbells together like this. But if both of your weights together is too heavy, you can just hold on to one weight, and that's fine. All right, make the decision that is best for you. But basically, you're going to start with your weight or weights right in front of your chest. Starting position is down here on the mat, on your back. Knees are bent, and I'm going to pick up my feet so that my feet are elevated, my knees are at more or less a 90-degree angle. And from here, I'm just going to sit up, and then I'm going to twist and tap my weights. Return to the center, and return to my starting position, lowering my torso back down with control. So I'm alternating reps with each, or alternating sides with each rep. So for my next rep, I'm going to sit up, twist and tap. Sit up, twist and tap. Sit up, twist and tap. So if that's too difficult, try it with one weight. Obviously, much easier with half the amount of weight. And if you don't want to add weight, you really can do it without any added weight. Just sit up, twist and tap. Sit up, twist and tap. All right, so whatever's going to work for you, and if keeping your heels elevated is too difficult, you can do the exact same thing with your heels on the ground to make it a little bit easier, so with or without weight. Actually, I might do this with my heels on the ground. With the added weight, it just kind of makes it flow better for me. Let me see. But you can elevate your heels if you want, but actually, I think I might just maybe I'll keep my heels down. I don't know. But something like that. All right, you guys, I was like spent like hours like with just my mind being blank. I had no idea what to do for a workout today, and then I finally just kind of wrote this like 2 minutes before I hit record. So I'm kind of figuring it out on the fly. So we'll see what happens, but I think I might actually prefer the way this feels with my heels down. I think it just kind of helps it flow a little better. With my heels up, it felt a little awkward. So you can have your heels elevated if you want. I think I'm gonna just have mine down. So with or without weight, but that's our little compound movement. And then last but not least, we're just doing glute bridge raises. So again, you don't have to add weight to this if you don't want to. So starting position here is on your back on the mat, knees bent, feet flat on the mat. And now you're going to press your heels into the mat and lift your hips up as high as you can. Squeeze your glutes at the top, and then lower your hips back down with control. So again, you're not just letting your hips drop down, you're lowering them down with control. I'm going to be adding weight, so you can use one weight, or you can use 2 weights. I'm just going to place my dumbbells here on my hips, and I'm going to have my hands on my dumbbells, but I'm not using my upper body at all to assist me. I just have my fingers lightly touching the dumbbells to help keep them put, help them stay put so that they don't roll off of me. Okay, but just doing the same exercise, but pushing up this extra 20 pounds of weight. If that's too much, you can do 1 dumbbell, just hold it right on your hips. All right. Super simple, and that's it. That's all 6 exercises. And then if you need body weight alternatives for the other 4 exercises, because I showed you how to do that final couplet without any added weight, but I didn't go over body weight modifications for the first 4 exercises. So for the previous couplet, that was my weighted squat plus an overhead press with an oblique twist. If you're not holding on to weight, it doesn't make any sense to do this with your arm. You're not pressing any weight up overhead. So eliminate it and just do any squat variation you want. So if you want to include, like I'm doing this little oblique twist, if you want to include something like that, you can just squat and do an oblique twist like that. Lift one knee and then twist your body thoracically. Bring the opposite elbow to meet your knee, alternating sides with each rep. For the plank rows, obviously if you're not holding on to weight, it doesn't make any sense to row nothing. So do any plank exercise you want. So maybe something like this, like shoulder taps, come down into your plank position and just tap. Pick up one hand at a time and tap the opposite shoulder. that could work. Really, any kind of plank exercise you want to do is fine. And then for the first couplet, we're doing our deadlifts plus an upright row. That was our compound movement. Again, if you're not holding on to weight, it doesn't make any sense to include the row, but you can do deadlifts without any added weight. Maybe just do one leg deadlifts to increase the difficulty a little bit, since you're losing the added difficulty of the extra weight. So just, it's the same exercise, but just on one leg. So I think that would be a good substitution. So just keeping a soft bend to this standing foot, you're gonna pick up, or standing leg, you're gonna pick up the other foot and have the foot behind you, tuck the shoulder blades into the back pockets, chest is lifted high, abs are tight, pushing the booty back, keeping that back flat, keeping the weight in the heel, and then stand. And you can just alternate legs with each rep. But you can absolutely do deadlifts without any added weight. So that can be your equipment-free substitution for that one. The really tricky one is coming up with an equipment-free substitution for these standing chest flies. But we're working chest, so any exercise that works your chest, I mean, push-ups would be my first choice if I had to pick something else to work my chest. So I think that would be a great option, either from your knees or from your toes, but any way you want to work your chest is fine for that exercise. So that's it. Anyway, that's all 6 exercises, and you have now equipment-free substitutions for all 6 exercises. So let's go ahead and go over the format very quickly. So this is going to be like 3 little ladder workouts. So we're taking each couplet one at a time, and we're going to start by doing 10 reps of each exercise in that couplet. So our first couplet was deadlifts plus an upright row, and then chest fly. So we're going to start with 10 reps of deadlifts, and then 10 chest flies. And then we're going to start working our way down the ladder, 2 rungs at a time. So the next round, we're going to do 8 reps of deadlifts, and then 8 chest flies, then 6 deadlifts, 6 chest flies, 4 deadlifts, 4 chest flies, 2 deadlifts, 2 chest flies, and that's it. That's the first couplet. So then we're going to do our first jump rope section, 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope. So again, that's going to hopefully take me somewhere in the neighborhood of about 10 minutes, plus or minus. So if you don't have a jump rope, about 10 minutes of some other type of moderate paced cardio exercise. And from there, we're just going to repeat that same pattern twice more. So as soon as we're finished with our first jump rope section, we'll start on our next couplet. Our next couplet is squats and plank rows. So 10 squats, 10 plank rows, 8 squats, 8 plank rows, 6 squats, 6 plank rows, 4, 2, okay. And then our next jump rope section, 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope, and then we'll do the same thing with our final little couplet. So we'll do 10 sit-ups, 10 glute bridge raises, and then 8, 6, 4, and 2. Then we'll finish up with one final jump rope section. So each of those couplets, we're doing 30 reps of each of those exercises. If you add up 10 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2, that's 30. So we're doing 30 reps of each exercise, and by the end of the workout, we will also have completed a total of 3,000 revolutions with the jump rope. So that's it. That's the format. It's going to be long and it's going to be tough, so do your best. Hopefully that is all clear, but if it's not, I know it sounds like a lot when I'm explaining it. It's actually pretty simple, I promise, but just remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you, so watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. It's very important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And you guys know it's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me, so I'm always here to help facilitate that. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. Also, please remember, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to make sure you're going at your own pace and make sure you're minding your form. Don't sacrifice your form for speed. So if you're in really good shape, it is 100% certain that you will be going a lot faster than I am, and that's great. Be faster than I am. Just make sure that you are not losing anything off of your form to get there. If you find that you are racing through the exercises because you're just trying to go really, really fast, just to say you got a great score, you set an ambitious time goal and you're just trying to meet your time goal, but you find that your form is starting to get sloppy, that means you need to slow down, all right? And if you find that you're racing to keep up with me, don't worry about keeping up with me. If you're slower than I am, great, be slower than I am. If you fall behind, either because you're just having to work at a slower pace than I am, or you're needing to stop and take rest breaks where I'm not taking them, or if you need longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, that's fine. Just pause the video and come back when you're ready. You do want to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as possible, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. All right, so just to make sure that you are being smart and being safe, please listen to your body. Do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. Work to your own level. So that means selecting dumbbells or household items that are an appropriate weight for you. It means dropping the weight if you need to, modifying the exercises if necessary. And it means going at your own pace. So please just make the decision that is best for you, and please just do your best. Remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. I hope that I have covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and get into the workout, grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you're jumping rope with me today, make sure you have something soft beneath you, so grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, maybe a towel will suffice. Grab a couple of dumbbells. If you don't have dumbbells, grab a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles filled with some sort of weight. And if you have absolutely nothing that's going to work for weight, or you just are adamant about not wanting to add weight to your workout today, that's fine. You have your equipment-free options. And now you can pause the video, get dressed, meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll get right into this long, tough workout. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm-up. So you're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. Your arm is completely relaxed, so that it's just gravity doing all of the work. It's just the weight of your arm that's gently stretching the opposite side of your neck. Now we're going to switch sides, so allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulders are completely relaxed as well. Don't let your shoulders creep up by your ears. Next, we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to start by allowing your chin to fall towards your chest and then towards the opposite shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, start feeling your head get heavier and heavier. Start feeling your arms become loose like a rag doll, and you're increasing your range of motion with each roll, allowing your entire torso to just fall down in front of you. Next, we're doing shoulder rolls. So rolling the shoulders back, make big circles with your shoulders, really exaggerate the movement. Explore your full range of motion. Next, we're going to do arm circles, but we're going to start small with our arm circles. So you're going to begin by extending your arms out to the side and start by just making small circles towards the back. But gradually, as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles larger and larger until finally you're making those circles as big as you possibly can. Really explore your full range of motion. Now you're going to step your feet out so that they're a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bend your knees and sweep your hands down in front of you. As you straighten your legs, you're reaching up, stretching towards the sky. And each time you bend your knees, You're expanding your range of motion, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. We're going to lunge side to side, nice and easy, adding the arms. So with each lunge, you're reaching across your body. It's like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're going to march in place. So step the feet in towards the middle and march. You can start with your knees low. You can stay here if you want. Or if you would like, you can start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. And now we're just gonna do a nice light jog, just jogging in place. Start with those knees low, and then if you want, you can do the same thing. Start driving your knees up, higher and higher, until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Next is booty kicks. So it's still just a nice light jog, but with each step, I'm bringing my foot behind me, trying to kick myself in the booty cheek with my heel. For this next one, you may need to hold on to a chair or the wall for support. If not, you can just have your hands on your hips. You're going to transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other leg, and just swing your leg front and back. Nice and loose. Going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to put this foot down, transfer your weight again, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg. Swing it in front of you, swing it behind you. You can start low, and then gradually you can start expanding your range of motion, kicking that leg higher and higher. Next, you're going to take this leg and extend it straight out in front of you, keeping your toes on the ground, and just make it a little semicircle. Bringing the leg around and behind you. Keep making those semicircles, and each semicircle you're lifting your leg a little higher, and for the last two, you're going to drive your knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to kind of guide it around for a hip circle. Other leg. So extending the leg out in front of you. Bringing that leg around and behind. Bringing that leg higher and higher with each hip circle. And for the last 2 reps, driving that knee up in front of you. Use your hand to guide it around. Finishing with a quick hamstring stretch. So I'm using this post. You can use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch. You don't need to use anything, but as you're coming into this stretch, you're trying to keep your back as flat as possible in order to isolate your hamstrings more effectively. So using the wall or a chair or something like that can just make it a little bit more comfortable, a little bit easier getting into this stretch. It might make it a little bit more accessible, but that's it. That's our 5-minute warm up. So let's go ahead and get right into the workout, starting with our first couplet. That's our deadlift plus an upright row, and then chest flies, starting with 10 reps of each. So grab your weights, and as soon as you're ready, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So pick up the weights, holding the weights in front of you. Tuck those shoulder blades into the back pocket, hinging at the hips. Keep that back flat. Keep the weight in your heels. Deadlift. Upright row. 10 reps, that's 2, 3, keep going. And 10. So now for our chest flies. So rotate your wrists so that they're facing forward. And you're going to bring one arm up at a time, up in front of you and across your body. So lifting the weight, bringing your pinky towards your opposite shoulder, alternating sides with each rep. So that's 3, 4, we're going to 10, do your best. and that's 10. So now we're just going to continue going back and forth between these two exercises. This is a little mini ladder workout, so we're going down our ladder 2 rungs at a time. So now we're back to deadlift. We're going to do 8 reps this time. So deadlift, upright row, 8 reps. Now rotate the wrists to face forward. 8 chest flies. Shake it out. Back to deadlifts. 6 reps. Remember to make sure you're not locking out your knees. Keep a soft bend to your knees and hinge at the hips. Keep your back flat, keep the weight in your heels. That's 2. Just 6 reps. That's 6. Now 6 chest flies. So make sure your palms are facing straight up towards the ceiling as you reach the top of that movement. Next rung, we're going down 2 rungs at a time. So next is 4 reps of deadlifts. Four chest flies. And finishing up with 2 more deadlifts. Two chest flies. And that's it. That's our first strength training section. The bulk of this workout is going to be our cardio sections. It's going to be a solid 30 minutes of cardio, and then we just have these little, why did I just get the idea to call these strength training vignettes interspersed throughout our jump rope session. All right, so for your cardio section, you can do any type of moderate paced cardio you want. I'm going to be doing 10 sets of 100 with my jump rope. So if you want to jump rope with me, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're counting 100 revolutions of the rope. That's 1 set. We're going to do that 10 times. My goal is to complete these jump rope sections in about 10 minutes. So if you don't have a jump rope, you can substitute with about 10 minutes of any type of moderate paced cardio exercise you want. If you're jumping rope with me, let's go ahead and get into this first of 3 jump rope sections. So we're counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. So you'll count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So I'm just marking a little slash so that I don't lose track of how many sets I've done. So that was my first set of 100. We're going to do 9 more. If you trip over your jump rope, it's okay. You do not have to go back and restart the entire set. Just take a breath, leave it behind you, and do your best to just get right back into it. Pick up your count where you left off. Try to keep your rest breaks in between sets as short as possible, and just do your best, all right? So I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy because it's hot out here, and these next 9 sets are gonna be tough for me. So whenever you're ready, here we go. Set number 2. set number 5. So I'm halfway through this first cardio section. Let's keep pushing. When I trip so early on in the set, I do like to start the set over, because if I'm not even able to complete 20 full revolutions of the rope before I trip, I'd rather just start over, because I'm only losing a few seconds, and I'd rather just see if I can string together a clean set of 100. So I'm going to start that set over. Probably just needed another few seconds to breathe. Okay, take 2. It's always like a lot more satisfying for me, I guess, to just start over and string together a clean set of 100. So 20 revolutions is usually my cutoff point. If I trip before I count it to 20, I'll typically start the set over. If I trip after 20, I just pick up my count where I left off. All right, that was 7. Let's go, let's keep pushing, 3 more sets. one more set. And then we'll move on to our next little couplet or superset ladder workout. So that's our first cardio section. With each passing set, harder and harder to get my feet up and over that rope. My legs already feel like jelly. So I'm going to pause and rest here for a minute before I start on my next weight training section. You don't need to pause and rest if you don't need to. I just need a minute to slow down my breathing and my heart rate and feel like I have enough strength to tackle this next strength training section. So if you don't need to rest, just skip ahead in the video. This is our weighted squat plus an overhead press with an oblique twist. That's our compound movement. And then our other half of this couplet or this superset is plank rows. So from here on out, same pattern. So you're going to do both exercises of the superset back to back, starting with 10 reps of each exercise and then working your way down the ladder 2 rungs at a time. And then another 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope or 10 minutes of some other kind of cardio. And then we'll finish with our final couplet in the same pattern. All right. It always sounds so complicated during the tutorial when I'm trying to explain it, but it's not complicated at all. It's just supersets and jump rope and ladders and compound movements. Maybe it's a little complicated. All right. So as soon as you're ready, whatever squat variation you're doing is fine. I'm holding both of my weights together in front of me. If that's too much, you can just hold one weight for your squat and then just transfer the weight to one hand to press it up overhead. Okay, a kettlebell would also work great if you want to do it that way. I'm holding both of my weights in front of me like this. So, squat, hammer curl, overhead press with an oblique twist, and return to your starting position. That's one. We're alternating sides with each rep. So squat, hammer curl, overhead press with an oblique twist. That's 2. 3. 4. Keep going. We're going to 10 this first round. 9 rows, 10 reps. So just rowing one weight at a time up towards your shoulder. Place the weight back down with control. Alternating sides with each rep. So that's 2, 3, 4. We're going to 10. Working our way down that ladder, 2 rungs at a time. So now 8 squats, 8 plank rows. Do your best. Last one. That's 8. Plank rows when you're ready. Six squats. Six plank rows. The sweat is pouring off of my body. All right. 4 squats when you're ready. Four plank rows. Finish these up. 2 squats. And 2 plank rows. So that's it, that's our second little ladder section. Should we go with strength training vignette? Do we like that? So there's just 2 more weighted exercises to go. 1 more little superset couplet ladder strength training vignette to go. But first we have to do another cardio section. I just need a minute. Oh, I don't want to take too long because, like I said, with each minute that passes, it is getting hotter and hotter out here, and that only makes it more difficult, but I'm already feeling my stamina like seriously waning, so I know that this cardio section is going to be super tough. I'm going to be struggling just to get through it, so I am wanting to give myself just a couple of minutes to rest and let my heart rate come down a little bit, let my breathing normalize a little bit, and let my legs hopefully stop shaking a little bit so that I feel that I have regained enough stamina to at least start the cardio section. So if you're in better shape than I am and you don't need this long rest break, then by all means go ahead and start your next cardio section. Just skip ahead of the video when you're ready to start the next strength training section. And of course, if you need a longer rest break than what I'm taking, pause the video, towel off. My God, I should have brought a towel out here. Get a sip of water or sports drink. And then when you feel that you're ready to resume the workout, join me and we'll get started on this next tough cardio section. So when you're ready, here we go. Another 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope. That was set number 1. I have to do 9 more, but already my legs feel like they want to quit on me. All right, just take it 1 set at a time. Do your best. days I need a minute. That was only my 5th set. I'm only halfway through this cardio section, so clearly my final 2 cardio sections are going to take me a lot longer than 10 minutes. But that 10 minutes was never exact anyway. So just remember that, first of all, if you're jumping rope with me and you're in better shape than I am and you don't need to rest, then obviously just finish up your 10 sets of 100 and then skip ahead in the video to our 3rd and final couplet. But if you're not jumping rope, and these jump rope sections are ending up taking me like 20 minutes instead of 10, that doesn't mean you have to do 20 minutes on like the exercise bike or a treadmill or whatever you're doing. You can still keep your cardio sections to about plus or minus 10 minutes. That was my goal, but I think the first one I kept to roughly about 10 minutes, but obviously these last 2, it's just about getting through them because I have no stamina left and it's getting so hot out here. I just can't get my feet up and over the rope. I think I did 1 clean set for the entire first half. So I'm just giving myself a good few minutes to just rest completely. My heart rate is still pretty elevated. So I'm gonna just take a few more deep breaths. And then when I feel that I have enough stamina, I know I'm not gonna be able to do the final 5 sets without stopping, but maybe I'll just try to do like the first 3 before I have to really pause and take a long rest break. It's what I've got today, so. I have been struggling with my stamina lately, and especially with jump rope, so this should not be a surprise to me. That I'm struggling this much. Also, every summer it does take me some time to get acclimated to working out in the heat. So maybe I'm just not used to the heat yet. I don't know, it is really hot out here. I'm literally like just pouring sweat. All right. Well, that was like a good 5-minute rest break. So if not now, when? Let's go ahead and see if we can do 3 more before I have to stop and take another long rest break. But I have to do 5 more sets before we move on to our 3rd and final couplet, so I'm gonna get through it. So when you're ready, here we go. Like I said, one of those days. Let's do another 20. I don't even know where I am. That set was a train wreck. I'm struggling. All right. Let's go for another one and see what happens. On record as saying that I take 100% of the responsibility for this mess of a jump rope section. None of this is Rebecca's fault. Rebecca is doing a great job. Me, on the other hand, not so much. All right. So that was my 8th set. I'm going to make it. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to happen. All right. 2 more sets. The only thing keeping me going at this point, aside from sheer stubbornness, is the knowledge that at least with our final superset, I get to be lying down on the mat. That's providing me some solace right now. All right. Just one more set. Even picking up this dumbbell right now, it feels like it weighs 50 pounds. All right, so I'm just gonna explain this final couplet from down here if you don't mind. So for our compound movement, we're doing a sit-up plus a Russian twist. One twist with each rep. And we'll alternate sides for the twist with each rep. So I'm going to be holding on to both of my dumbbells for this. If both of your weights together are too heavy, just hold on to one weight, that's fine. One dumbbell or one kettlebell, medicine ball, shampoo bottle, water bottle, whatever you're using for weight. If you don't want to add weight, you can absolutely do these final 2 exercises with no added weight. So that's fine as well. Just to make the decision that is best for you. And again, I think I'm gonna keep my heels on the mat for this sit-up exercise. You can have your heels elevated if you want. I think if I was using one dumbbell, I might have my heels elevated, but holding on to both dumbbells, it's all that added weight, it just makes it really awkward for me to have my heels elevated. I think this exercise for me, holding onto the heavier weight, flows a lot better if I keep my heels down, but that's your option. You can increase the difficulty if you want by having your heels elevated for this one. All right, enough stalling. Unless you need more time to rest. Remember, go at your own pace. If you need a few more minutes before you feel that you have enough strength and enough stamina to continue without sacrificing your form, then pause the video and come back when you're ready. So I'm gonna hold both of my weights in front of my chest like this. And now I'm going to sit up and twist. Reverse the movement. Now sit up and twist to the opposite side, and that's 2. Alternating sides with each rep, we're going to 10, so do your best. So sit up and twist. Sit up and twist to the other side. That's 4, 5, 6, 4 more. All right, that's 10. So now glute bridge raises. I'm gonna have both dumbbells on my hips. You can have one dumbbell, one kettlebell, one medicine ball. Anything you're using for weight is fine, or you can do this without any added weight. I'm lightly just using my fingertips to hold the dumbbells in place so they don't roll off of me, but I'm not using my upper body to help in any way. I'm making my glutes do all the work of lifting this extra 20 pounds of weight. So as soon as you're ready, 10 glute bridge raises. So pressing your heels into the mat, lift your hips as high as you can, squeeze the glutes at the top, and then lower your hips back down with control. So now working our way down the ladder, 2 rungs at a time. So 8 sit-ups. Make sure you're really working that twist. Really kind of explore your full range of motion. Really twisting your body thoracically, feeling those obliques. I'm gonna feel if this makes more sense to try to stack my dumbbells, I think maybe. No. All right. So now 8 glute bridge raises. I think I was better off the other way. All right, 6 sit-ups. Glute bridge raises. I feel like I'm taking my sweet time with this couplet because I know that as soon as I'm ready, I have to start jumping rope again. And these jump rope sections are making me want to like unalive myself. All right, 6 glute bridge raises. When you're ready, Just 12 more reps. And then we gotta jump rope again. I'm like dreading it. Okay, 4 sit-ups. For glute bridge raises. Final 2 sit-ups. And final 2 glute bridge raises. All right, we're done with these 50-pound dumbbells. That's what they feel like right about now. So now what I should be doing is getting my little booty up and grabbing my jump rope for my 3rd and final jump rope section. But it feels way too good just lying here on my back. So all we have left is our final cardio section. So your cardio section can be about 10 minutes, and that's fine. Obviously, my cardio section is going to be like 20 minutes because each one of these sets of 100 with my jump rope is like pure torture. I'm really, really struggling to get through them. Reminder too, if you haven't gotten up yet, when you do get up, please remember to make sure that you are doing so incrementally so that you don't get lightheaded. So just take it slow, get up kind of one step at a time. So here's the deal. I was hoping I could finish this in about an hour. I'm already over an hour. I'm at like an hour and 2 minutes pretty much. So it's gonna take me closer to 90 minutes. I was hoping it would not take me in that range. I was hoping that to keep it closer to an hour, but it's fine. I do think that an hour was a reasonable time goal, but knowing how much I've been struggling with jump rope lately, maybe I should have anticipated that I would have like hit a wall like I have with the jump rope, but it's okay. So this final section is going to take me a lot longer than 10 minutes. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get through it. That being said, I am as stubborn as they come. So that's kind of the only reason I'm gonna do this, because this is how I wrote the workout. It's 30 reps of all of our weighted exercises. So I wanted it to be 3,000 revolutions of the rope, so 30 and 3,000, you know. But that's the only reason I added the extra jump rope section. So this is more jump rope than we usually do in a workout by 50%. Is that how that works? Usually I'll do 20 sets of 100 over the course of the workout, but this one we're doing an extra section with 10 sets of 100, so it's a lot. So if you're done, you do not have to do this final cardio section. Just do your bonus burpee and then take a couple minutes to cool down. If you want to cool down with me, there are chapter markers, so you can skip ahead to the cool down. We can do a quick cool down together, and then don't forget to stick around to do the mobility challenge. But then you can go ahead and take a few minutes to stretch and then have your shower, eat some lunch, and get on with the rest of your day. If you are continuing on with me, just gonna Keep my head down. I'm gonna try to, I know I'm gonna be tripping over my jump rope a lot, so I'm gonna try to not let the frustration derail me. I'm just gonna do my best and just get these reps done, okay? So, if you need another minute, I feel like I could use another several minutes. Pause the video, towel off, get yourself a sip of water, and when you feel that you are ready to continue, let's go ahead and get started on this third and final cardio section. It's gonna be tough. Let's just take it one set at a time. Do your best. All right, final 10 sets of 100. Here we go. ay. One more set. And then I'm sitting my tired little booty back down. This is brutal. Oh my God. I do not recommend this, what I'm doing right now, but I just feel like I can't even stay on my feet. And I need to kind of reset my brain because I'm struggling so much to get my feet up and over the jump rope. And it's incredibly frustrating. Just waiting for the plane. So I never tell you guys not to get frustrated because obviously what I'm trying to do is jump over the rope. So when I'm tripping on the rope, that's the exact opposite of the thing I'm trying to do. And so I'm failing. I'm trying to do something and I'm failing. And that is frustrating. So I never tell you to not get frustrated, because it's only normal and natural and healthy to feel frustration when you're trying your best at something and you keep failing. My point about the frustration is that, okay, feel it, acknowledge it, validate it, but do your best to not let it dictate your mindset moving forward, because if you get bogged down in that negative space, nothing good can come of that. You're only going to sabotage the rest of your workout. So that's why sometimes I'll kind of throw the rope down, is just to kind of like reboot, you know what I mean? Like kind of reset the computer and hopefully making that break. A lot of times I feel like just letting go of the jump rope and making that break can kind of help me sometimes to just reset and get back into it. And I might still keep tripping, but it kind of helps me to just kind of have a better mindset about it, I think. But that's the halfway point. We've completed 5 sets. I can barely stand, my legs are jelly. So I'm gonna do my best to see if I can get through the next 3 before I have to take another long rest break. We're going to get these done. So again, just do your best. If you're not a wimp like I am, I'm sure you're done already with your jump rope. But if not, that's okay too. We're in it together. When you're ready, here we go. Set number 6. You know you're killing it when you can't even do 1 rep of jump rope without tripping. All right, let's keep fighting for it. I made it to rep like 88. Before tripping over my jump rope, I had started to get a little ahead of myself. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna get through a whole set without tripping over my jump rope. And it would have been my first clean set for this entire cardio section. But it's okay. You guys, that was set number 8. Just 2 sets left to go. Let's just push through. Final set. Wish me luck. Needed to take a few minutes to towel off and like shotgun a Gatorade, but we're not quite finished yet. I know this is a long, tough workout and I barely made it through, but you guys know that no workout of mine is ever officially complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. But first, whenever I do a workout that incorporates jump rope, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with my jump rope. The bonus burpee is mandatory. Everyone must do a bonus burpee to complete the workout. But this additional set of jump rope is completely optional. So if you would like to join me, grab your jump rope. We're just going to do 1 final set of 100 with the jump rope. If you do not want to do this bonus set of jump rope, then you can just take another minute to breathe, and then we'll do our bonus burpee together. So wish me luck. I was able to get through that final set of 100 without tripping over my jump rope, so hopefully I can get through my bonus set of 100 without tripping over my jump rope. We'll see. Jelly legs. All right, here we go, when you're ready. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. I did it. So that's our little jump rope bonus. And now, finally, we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. This is our final rep of the day. With that, the workout is now officially complete. So get up, let's just pace around a little bit. You want to keep moving, keep the circulation going after the workout is complete, while you allow your breathing to normalize and while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit. So you can just kind of pace back and forth, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. So just bringing one arm across your body, using the other arm to pull it in tight towards your chest. Make sure your straight arm is completely relaxed, and make sure your shoulder is completely relaxed. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. Switching sides. Triceps really quickly, so bending one elbow, and then place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards your opposite shoulder, feeling a stretch in your triceps. As you're doing this, make sure that your free hand is completely relaxed. The fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground. So you don't want this hand up here somewhere by your shoulder. You're pulling your elbow towards your shoulder, but your fingers should be pointing straight down. And make sure that you're focusing on your breathing while we're doing this little bit of light stretching. You want your breathing rate to normalize. So make sure that you're intentional with your breathing. Take deep, slow, controlled breaths. And now let's get the tricep on the other side. So bending the opposite elbow, placing your hand on your elbow and gently pulling your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Your free hand is relaxed, fingers are pointing straight down at the ground, and I like to just kind of shift my weight from side to side. You can pace around, you can kind of shake out the legs, but as you're doing this little bit of light stretching and breathing, make sure that you're also continuing to move around while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit. Shake it out. Let's finish with a quick quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair for support. You're going to bend one knee, bring your foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands, and then kind of press your heel into your booty cheek. Make sure your breathing is still deliberate, and make sure you're tucking your booty underneath you. Tilt your pelvis forward. It's going to help to isolate that quad muscle even more effectively, and it's going to help stretch your hip flexors a little bit as well. Shake it out. Let's get the other leg. So one final quad stretch, bending the opposite knee. Bring your foot behind you, reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek and tilt your pelvis forward. So you're kind of tucking your booty underneath you. Think about trying to touch your spine with your belly button. And as you're doing that, you're continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those things, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify in your quads. All right, so that's it. That's our little cool down. Shake out the legs one more time, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit. If you feel that you are still breathing heavily and your heart rate is still elevated, then just take a couple more minutes, keep pacing around. You can do a little more light stretching. That's a great idea. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you are taking a good 15 or 20 minutes at least to stretch every single day. Stretching every day is going to help alleviate any muscle soreness that you might experience the day after the workout. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and it's going to improve your flexibility. So right now is the best time to do your stretching. If you can spare 15 or 20 minutes, this is going to be the most effective and the most efficient time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you don't have time right now, that's fine. It doesn't matter really what you do for your stretching routine or when you get it done, just as long as you're taking the time to stretch every day. Just remember that if you do put off your stretching until later on in the day, that your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you are going to need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before jumping into your stretching routine. But that's it. That's our little cool down. So you guys, it is Mobility Monday, and that means that it is time for our weekly Monday mobility challenge. I found another mobility challenge on YouTube. So if you would like to try it with me, grab a mat. You're going to be more comfortable with something soft. You're going to be seated on the mat. So first, I'm just gonna go grab my phone. We'll watch the YouTube short together so that you can see what it is we are about to attempt and you understand the movement, and then we'll go ahead and try it together. Okay, so this is a really simple one. It's gonna go very quickly. I'm watching the YouTube short right now, so let me show you what I'm looking at. We'll watch it together a couple times. I'll talk us through it so that we can really kind of understand the movement. All right, are you ready for a spine mobility challenge? Can you twist and get your opposite hand on opposite thigh? So that's it. You can see it's really short, really simple. Let's watch it again. So she's starting out with her legs crossed, and now she's taking one arm and she's placing her hand on the opposite knee. It looks like her knee's not quite in the frame. Let's watch it again. So she's picking up one hand. It looks like she's placing it on the outside of her knee, and then she's taking her other hand, wrapping it around her back and grabbing a hold of the top of her thigh. So let's watch it one last time. So she's reaching across, placing her hand on the knee, and then she's reaching behind with that hand and just placing it on top of the opposite leg. Comment yes if you can do this. Well, with any luck, I will be commenting yes on this YouTube short within the next few minutes. I feel pretty confident about this. I feel like this might be one of those ones that looks harder than it is, but I do have decent spinal mobility, so I think I should probably be able to do this one, but we'll find out. So if you would like to try it with me, grab your mat, we'll give this a shot and see what happens. All right, so there's really no reason that my feet need to be naked for this one, but I've got a streak going of like 4 or 5 Monday mobility challenges in a row with naked feet, so I figured why not? But it doesn't matter, shoes on or shoes off, that's your call, but just make sure you have something soft beneath you. We're going to start seated on the mat, cross your legs, and now you're going to pick up one hand, you're gonna reach across your body and grab a hold of the outside of your opposite knee. Now, take your other hand, keep your torso facing forward as much as you can. You're going to bring this arm around and behind you, and then see if you can keep going and bring that arm all the way across so to the point that you can actually place the palm of your hand on top of your opposite thigh. And that's it, I think we did it. So now for good measure, let's see if we can do it on the other side. So I'm going to pick up this hand, I'm going to place it on the outside of the opposite knee, and then I'm going to take my free hand, I'm going to reach all the way around and behind, and I'm going to, but with this side's actually a lot better. I'm able to reach my hand around even farther on this side. And grab a hold of the top of my other leg, and that's it. So this one was actually pretty easy for me because I have pretty good spinal mobility. But if that is not one of your strong suits and you found this to be a struggle and you were not able to successfully complete the challenge the first time, that's fine. You get 2 more chances. So let's try it again. Shake it out. Take a couple of breaths. Now you're going to pick up one hand, place it on the outside of your knee, bring this arm around you, maybe stretch, like kind of reach out to the side and reach behind you first to kind of get that length in your arm that you need, so that when you bring it around, see now that actually I noticed my range of motion increase quite a bit doing that this time. So think about that first if you are struggling with it, to kind of reach and think about elongating your arm before you wrap it around, and that might really help. All right, so now let's shake it out and try the other side. The other side is much easier for me. So I'm going to reach across with the opposite hand and then stretch this arm as long as you can, wrap it around and place it on top of the opposite leg, and that's it. We did it. So I was really able to significantly increase my range of motion that second attempt. So if you still haven't gotten it, were you closer the second time? Let's try it a third time and see if you can increase your range of motion just a little more, and maybe you can get that hand all the way around this time. So here we go. When you're ready, shake it out. Another deep breath. And when you're ready, here we go. Third and final attempt. So pick up one hand. You're going to place your hand on the outside of your opposite knee, and now reach this arm behind you. Keep your torso facing forward and bring that hand all the way around until it's resting on top of the opposite leg. Now let's try it on the other side. So reach across this way, grab a hold of the opposite knee, and now reach this arm around and behind you, all the way around to rest on the top of the opposite leg, and that's it. We did it. All right, so that is another successful Monday mobility challenge in the books for me. If you are still struggling with it, that's fine. Just keep at it and just work on increasing your range of motion a little bit each time. And let me know if you were able to eventually complete this challenge successfully. Just let me know what you thought of this one and how you did with it. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately, and even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout and how everything fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is stop the hammering. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way until the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, stop the hammering. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.